Hey, what's up, guys? Todd here, and I'm here to give you all the knowledge that you could ever want when researching alternative energy, in this case, solar. Okay? So, in order to understand solar, there's a lot of different topics you're going to have to really have a firm grasp on, and one of those is the tier system for utility companies in the United States. There are two different types of ways that utility companies are going to bill you for your power, and that is using a tier system, or it's going to be time of use, or time of day, or peak pricing. Different phraseology, same concept, okay? Today we're going to be talking about the tier system. So what is the tier system and how does it work? When a utility company is billing you on a tier system, they will normally have two or more tiers that they are going to be billing you on. Each of these tiers represents a cent per kilowatt hour rate, and generally the first tier is your cheapest and the second is more expensive, and so on and so forth. Today I'm going to be using PG&E in California as an example because that's what I personally am most comfortable with and most knowledgeable about. So here we go. With the PG&E tier system, you have two primary tiers, tier 1 and tier 2, and you also have a high usage surcharge. We're just going to be talking about the first two tiers. The high usage surcharge is something a little bit different. So in tier 1, you are being billed at a rate of 25 cents per kilowatt hour as of August 2020. This is going to go up in the coming months, so adjust that rate accordingly for time. But right now it's 25 cents per kilowatt hour. So what does that mean? Well, a 40 watt incandescent bulb ran for 1 hour will use 1 kilowatt hour of power, which means in tier 1 with PG&E, you're going to pay 25 cents to have that light bulb turned on for 1 hour. Okay? And that's in tier 1. So how do we get into tier 2? How does that come into play? Well, each of these tiers represents pricing, but each tier also has an allowance of power. So in this case, the average allowance of power in tier 1 is 450 kilowatt hours. Okay? So that's enough kilowatt hours for you to run 450 light bulbs at 1 hour, for 1 hour at a time. So what this means is you are basically able to run 450 40 watt bulbs for 1 hour, okay? What happens when you use this allowance of power? Well, you go from paying tier 1 rates at 25 cents to tier 2 rates at 31 cents, and that endures for the rest of the billing cycle. So, for example, let's say, it's August right now, it's pretty hot, you're running your AC a lot, the pandemic is going, so you are home a lot more often, and maybe your kids are home a lot. If you use up that 450 kilowatt hours in the first week of the month, then all of your power is going to come to the home at tier 2 pricing for the remainder of the month at 31 cents. So how does this affect you? Well, first, let's take a look at price difference, okay? If you never break out of tier 1 and your bill is $100 for the month of August, which is really cheap, that same amount of power used by your neighbor at tier 2 pricing is going to be somewhere along the lines of $125, a little bit more. It's a little bit more than a 25% increase from tier 1. You're using the same amount of power, but now you're being billed at a higher rate. So I kind of like to compare this to gas prices. You could be going to fill up your car at Arco for $3 a gallon, or you could be going to 76 across the street and being charged $3.15 a gallon. It's the same gas, does the same amount of good for your car, but you're paying different premiums. And that's how the tier system works. So I hope this has been informative to you. If you're interested in learning how you can reduce the cost of electricity to the home without paying anything out of your pocket, I've included a link in the description below. Go ahead and fill that out, and you can schedule a free consultation with me where I'll go through your utility bill and some things that you can do to save some money. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.